1, the regular meeting of the Gary Redevelopment Commission of Wednesday, April 17th, 2019 is now called to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Here.
Commissioner Reeves.
Here.
Commissioner Joyner.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Mr. Butts.
Here.
Let it be noted that Commissioner Johnson is absent today.
For voting members present, we do have a quorum to conduct business for the Redevelopment Commission today. Certification of the record of executive session held April 17, 2019. I hereby certify that nothing has been discussed in the executive session held immediately before this open meeting except those items specified and listed in the notice. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
So moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 4, acceptance and approval of minutes of regular meeting held March 20, 2019. What's the board's pleasure?
Move to approve. Second.
Moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? May I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 5, claims list of April 17, 2019, which has been previously approved by our director. May I have an overview, please?
Sure. There are no changes to your claims list dated April the 17th. In the general fund, the total is $3,767.78. Under the 518 demolition fund, there are 2 items, one in the amount of $4,715.49 and one in the amount of $20,400.
Motion to approve. Second.
Moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 6, special claims list of April 17, 2019, which has been previously approved by our director. May we have an overview, please?
Sure, there are no changes to your special claims list dated April the 17th. Out of 823 consolidated TIF, the total is $36,333.48. Out of the lakefront TIF, the total is $23,534.
Motion to approve. Second.
Moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 7, request for approval of resolution number 5099. A resolution accepting the transfer of certain real properties from a nonprofit organization, Community Restoration Corporation, to the Redevelopment Commission. Property address is 425 Polk Street and 4835 Carolina Street. This is previously deferred from our April 3rd meeting. Over to you.
Sure, the 2 properties, 425 Polk and 4835 Carolina Street, are owned by a nonprofit organization called Community Restoration Corporation. The National Community Stabilization Trust, which is a national organization dealing in legacy cities, brought this to our attention. It was deferred last week, the last meeting, because we didn't have any of the backup documentation.
Move to approve. Second.
Moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flournoy.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 8, request for approval of resolution number 6003. A resolution approving and ratifying the transfer of real property from the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission to the Gary Housing Authority for the purpose of economic development. Property address is 644 through 46 Broadway, which is previously deferred from our April 3rd meeting.
Overview?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So this was previously deferred. The Gary Housing Authority, the Redevelopment Commission, just a little over 2 years ago, had an agreement wherein the Redevelopment Commission would acquire the Ivanhoe housing project on 15th and Chase, and the Housing Authority would get a number of properties on the 600 block of Broadway, presumably for demolition and repurposing. At that time, 644-46 Broadway was not in the Redevelopment Commission's name. We had just acquired it via tax deed from the commissioner's sale, and we were beginning to effectuate it. At the same time, the Housing Authority has been trying to acquire sites along 600 block of Broadway. I think they own sites on either side of this. And they were beginning eminent domain proceedings. Rather than put them through the cost and expense of that, we offer to simply deed them the property.
Move to approve. Second.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 9, request to review and award RFQ number 2019-2 for demolition of structures located at 1840 Broadway and 1901 Washington Street, and approval of resolution number 6004. A resolution approving and authorizing the award and execution of a contract with JM Industrial Services for demolition of structures located at, that's 860, right? So no, I'm sorry, 840 Broadway and 1901. No,
That'd be 1840.
1840.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah, 1840 Broadway and 1901 Washington Street in the city of Gary in response to RFQ number 2019-2.
Sure. We've solicited bids for two properties, 1840 Broadway and 1901 Washington Street. We had 3 responses. JM Industrial Services was the most responsive bidder at $43,500.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 10, request for approval of resolution number 6005, a resolution authorizing the award of and transfer of real property from the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission to Kristen Huskin, for the property located at 7030 Hemlock Street, to Charlotte Evans for the properties located at 2432 Buchanan Street, 2452 Buchanan Street, and 2460 Buchanan Street. To John L. Key for the property located at 850 Vermont Street. To Eva Marie Lopez to the property located at 6040 East 6th Place. To Jennifer, is that no? Jennifer No, for the properties located at 6329 East 3rd Avenue and 6333 East 3rd Avenue, all private citizens for the City of Gary's side lot program. Overview.
Sure. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 recipients of the city's side lot program.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any comments or questions? Have a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 11, request for approval of resolution number 6006, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a purchase agreement for the sale of certain property commonly referred to as 2300 Buchanan Street, Gary, Indiana, to private purchaser Leon R. Thomas. What's the overview?
Sure. At a previous meeting of the Redevelopment Commission, the board opened bid for 2300 Buchanan Street for Mr. Thomas. Staff has reviewed the bid and viewed it responsive. This would be a purchase of that property for $250.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any comments or questions? Not in roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 12, request for approval of resolution number 6007, a resolution approving the First Amendment to the project and purchase agreement with MBAH Holding LLC. Give an overview, please.
Sure. At our previous meeting, the board approved a companion agreement with this for MBH Holding, which extends their due diligence period, their inspection period for premises, from April 1st to December 6th, 2019. This is a companion document to go along with that, doing the exact same thing.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Now, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 13, request for approval of resolution number 6008, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving a certain access and license agreement with the Gary Sanitary District and Gary Property Development LLC contractor for Cleanfield site activities for the property located at 6400-70 West 21st Avenue. Give an overview.
Okay, yeah. This licensing agreement follows a MOU that we previously entered into and an operating agreement for the acceptance of clean field at the J-Pit. The Gary Redevelopment Commission owns the property, and we're licensed its use to the Gary Sanitary District and a contractor that we hired through the bidding process. The advantage of this is that we'll be able to accept clean field at no cost to the city. And in addition to that, we'll get part of the revenue from the operation. And this is something that's been worked on for probably at least 2 years, maybe longer than that, between the Sanitary District and the Redevelopment Commission. And we found we have something that we think we can put our teeth in and move forward. I don't know, Joe, you want to add anything?
No, I think that is adequate. Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Benoit?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 14, request approval of resolution number 6009, a resolution authorizing the ratification and execution of a contract with Chemcheck Incorporated for asbestos removal services located at 4832 Van Buren Street. May I have you, please?
Sure. Chemcheck was in the process of demolishing 4832 Van Buren Street. Suspected there was asbestos in there, tested it, sure enough it's there. This is a contract for them to remove that asbestos.
Move. Second.
So moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Benoit?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 15, request for approval of resolution number 6010, a resolution amending the contract with N&T Auto Salvage by the Redevelopment property located at 2608 Central Drive, which was erroneously included in its original bid package. Overview, please.
Sure. NT Auto Salvage bid on a number of properties associated with Hardest Hit Fund Round 2. This was back in November of last year. Since that time, a property owner, or a potential property owner came and wanted to acquire 2608 Central Drive, and so we did that. We, rather than demolish it, we sold it to a resident, and so we'd like to take that property out of the bid package and out of their contract. So it won't be demolishing it, it's no longer on our demolition list.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Benoit?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, yes, let me do it now. Oh, okay. Okay. Item number 16, request for approval of resolution number 6011, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the Lake County Commissioners and the Redevelopment Commission for the demolition of certain properties within the city of Gary.
Sure. The Lake County Commissioner's Office, through Commissioner Allen and Mayor Karen, worked together to partner on the demolition of the following 3 sites: 4785 to 87 Broadway, 1100 Massachusetts, and 2301 Adams Street. These are all pretty significant structures that fall outside of the boundaries of our typical demolition funding, so hardest hit funds typically. So this is a MOU to take those 3 buildings down in partnership with the county, and they're going to fund up to $92,700 worth of demolition costs for them.
Motion to approve. Second.
Been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not, may I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Benoit?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 17, Request for approval of resolution number 6012, resolution accepting the transfer of certain real property from the city of Gary to the city of Gary Redevelopment Commission. Property address should read 860 North Lake Street, Gary, Indiana. It's a typo.
Sure. Earlier today, the Board of Works passed a similar resolution conveying 860 North Lake Street to the Redevelopment Commission. This is the roughly 24-acre site that includes the former charter school dunes / Naval Armory site. So this would be in advance of putting out an RFP for development of that site.
Motion to approve. Second.
So we have a properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Not roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 18, request of staff to advertise official notice to bidder, bid memo 2019 for the demolition of a structure located at 700 through 34 Massachusetts Street, formerly known as the Memorial Auditorium. Over here, please.
Sure. On the corner of 7th and Massachusetts, the Broadway Loft project is going to be built later this fall, and in advance of that, this will demolish what's left of the facade of the Memorial Auditorium. This is a request to advertise for bids for that project.
Motion to approve with the added note of retaining the brickwork.
Yes, so just a point of clarification, in the contract, ultimately, we're going to retain some of the features that are salvageable from the facade to be reincorporated in a future project.
Second.
Moving properly second, are there any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Not at this time at the, thank you. Okay, now roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 19, request of staff to advertise for RFP for the sale or lease of redevelopment property located at 860 North Lake Street, Gary, Indiana. Wait a minute, we just did that.
We just accept
Okay,
the-
you just said, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
see that.
Okay,
Right?
wait a minute. All right, that's been a long day. Over here.
Now that the board has accepted 860 North Lake Street, we would like to do something with it, right? We're going to, so this is a request of the board that we advertise for an RFP for potential development on that site. We've had a draft RFP up for 30 days. We've accepted public comment on that. We've received a fair amount. Prior to that, we had, I think, 3 community meetings, and we've gotten a lot of input. I think we're in a really good spot with it. So that RFP will be out next week.
Motion to approve. Second.
So moving properly second, are there any questions or comments? Nothing, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 20, request of staff to change Gary Redevelopment Commission regularly scheduled meeting of Wednesday, May 1st, 2019 to Wednesday, May 8th, 2019.
Sure, I have a conflict next Wednesday, and I'm hoping to be good. Move it to the
Okay.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's like it's gonna die.
Guy on the floor for everybody.
Anything on your agenda? I don't know what you want to do.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions or comments? If not, then roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Flynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Here, here.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to need a motion to amend the agenda by adding American Structure Point change order.
So moved.
I can't.
Can't read it.
No.
Make the motion.
Okay. I can make the motion.
I'd like to make the motion to
Well, wait a minute, we have to vote on
change
the agenda.
Right, amending the agenda.
Yeah, amend
by
the
adding
agenda.
that point to the
Motion to change the agenda to incorporate forthcoming action.
Second.
So we're moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? Now, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Fenoy?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, now you make motions.
Make a motion to amend, adding the construction point change order passed subject to attorney review and report. That's my motion.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. Are there any questions?
Second.
Oh, okay. You have 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments? You give me a brief overview.
Sure, brief overview, sure. So the Buffington Harbor Reconstruction Roadway Project, this is the industrial grade road going from roughly Klein Avenue as a companion to the casino access road. This goes down into Buffington Harbor to access the industrial land over there and ultimately connect with the roadway in front of Carmoose Lime's property. The project is currently underway, but we had a request from the casino to add more lights, cones, and safety measures as we begin with construction. So this change order would add $89,000 to the total project budget, which is roughly $8.5 million. That's a do not exceed amount. A lot of that is mobilization. So should we put that stuff out there and realize that it's in excess of what we need, we can always scale back, but this is for the maximum amount of lighting and safety stuff. All of this comes from the combination of the U.S. Department of Commerce grant and the RDA grant. So the money comes from the city, and we did have excess funds on the project to pay for it.
Is there anyone moving properly second? I just need a roll call.
Oh, we have, just in time, skin of your teeth, Mr. Tucker.
No kidding, I apologize for my tardy.
I'm good. Yeah, we were just talking about it, so I just said this is $89,000 additional roadway lighting and safety precautions.
Yes, sir.
And if there's anything you want to talk about, I said it's sort of on the high end, and if we go out there and find that it's in excess of what we need, we can always come in lower. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Correct, the items are on a item basis, so monthly charge, so if we, with removing the other lights, if we have the ability to utilize some of those lights after we remove it and have lights to kind of reduce the number of months, that would be a way we could use some cost savings as well. Or we went with 3 different light plants. If 2 is necessary and 3 is too much, we have the ability to also reduce that as well. So the biggest cost is in the monthly rental, so what we can reduce there will help that part of it as well, the cost, the overall cost. Okay, thank you, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, my time and stuff, I apologize.
Thanks.
Okay, we've heard our overview. We've already did a moving properly second.
Okay.
And roll call.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioner Fenoy?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright. Now this will be item number 22, public comments on agenda items only. Is there anyone who wants to make a comment on agenda items only?
Madam President?
Actually, she was first.
Oh, good, fine.
I had a question about number 18 because of the Memorial
If
Auditorium.
you could project a little bit, like we can't really hear you from this end. So.
Oh, I had a question about the project that you have for the demo for Memorial Auditorium, because it's a historical site. Will they be demolishing all of it, or will they be kind of restoring any of it,
Good
or
question.
rebuilding
Yes,
it, or what?
Yeah, so, when was that? 2014, we did a number of demolitions along Broadway. Most on the 700 block of Broadway on the west side. This was in, at the same time we did the Ambassador apartment building.
Right.
So both those demolitions were done with the same funds. At that time, we did a survey of Broadway from 5th down to 8th to review all of the historic structures, and DNR is the state agency that gets that approval.
DNR?
The Department of Natural Resources has the Historic Preservation Office through them, and we did a review of all the properties associated with them, and those that were too far removed from being restored or had lost enough of their significance, we were okay to demolish. And so that's the Massachusetts Street Auditorium was one of those. It was not considered significant to the preservation district. I'm paraphrasing, but that's sort of the process. Built into the contract when we do it, the structures that are salvageable, some of the ornate brickwork and that sort of thing, we will salvage and store for future use. As we did on the Ambassador with some of the cornices and some of the moldings there too.
When is this project supposed to be, set to go forward?
They're trying to get construction done this season, so very likely in the fall. If we get an early winter, it'll be next spring. And that's the Broadway Lofts project.
It's called the Broadway Loft.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Noack?
Yes. Philistines are defined as those
Oh, great.
with an indifference or even hostility to local culture and art. Not very different from our Redevelopment Commission. When we talk about the Memorial Auditorium, do we neglect to remember that this memorial was built to honor the World War I veterans who served our country from the city of Gary? Do we also know that before the building was built, a man named William Billy Rue, Gary's first hero, gave up his life to save a young teenage girl who was involved in a fiery auto crash. City fathers at the time had a huge memorial funeral for him. 10,000 Garyites showed up for his funeral, and as part of that, as part of their memorial to him, they also constructed a memorial right at the corner of 7th and Massachusetts. So it's not only a memorial to the brave men who served in World War I, but it is a memorial to the heroic man, Gary's first true hero, who gave his life to save a teenage girl involved in she survived, he died. There's a memorial right at the corner there. And any project that repurposes that site, you are obligated. Even Philistines are obligated to honor the local culture, the local history, the local art, and that building is part of that. Billy Rue is part of that. So while you guys are counting your shekels, we should make sure that the building, the site location of the only World War I memorial in the city remains a memorial, and the memorial to William Billy Rue, Gary's first hero. 10,000 people honored that man at his funeral, and here you guys are just spitting on his memorial. That's a shame. That's shameful. And any efforts to repurpose that site have to include those two memorials. One, for the brave men who served in World War I, and two, for the brave life sacrifice to save one of his neighbors, William Billy Rue.
Thank you, Mr. Noack.
Don't be Philistines.
I'm not going to become a Philistine one more time. Anyone else?
Thank you. Explain what MBH Holdings is. That's the number.
That's the Miller Valentine Group that's building the Broadway Loft project. Project, I guess I'm very Yeah, project, yeah. Almost said program.
Can you repeat that?
That's the group building the Broadway Lofts. They're called Miller Valentine Group. And MBH Holding is their legal holding company.
And you said they're gonna be given an extension April to December?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? Okay, report from Joseph M. Diker, Director.
I don't have a report per se, but as it pertains to item 13, which is the partnership with the sanitary district, I just wanted to publicly thank Attorney King. It was very, very difficult and took a long time, and we had a lot of iterations, some not as thoughtful as others, and through a lot of hard work and a lot of back and forth, we got a solution that's going to be real beneficial to this board and the sanitary district and the city. So thank you.
Thank you. Report from the Commissioner Attorney David King Jr.
No report?
Okay. commissioners' comments. Commissioner Reeves?
It's Holy Week, so I guess the reference for the Philistines is apropos.
He should probably not be one. Just saying, Commissioner Flournoy?
No comment.
Commissioner Johnson's not here, Commissioner Joyner.
None, Madam Chair.
I just wish you were just as passionate about that building across the street as you are about everything else that's in this city. Just saying, I mean, it's downtown and it probably has some historical significance, and I'm not discounting what you were saying, but I wish you felt it was just as significant as what you just talked about. Yeah, that's my observation. I'm not gonna be called a Philistine for the record. Mr. Bucks, any comments?
Yes, thank you. I did want to ask a question, but I guess maybe some clarification. If something were to happen at that site, can it be incorporated since it is a historical site?
Sure.
Can it be incorporated for
Sure
those
can.
two items?
Yep, assuming that they're accurate, yes.
Okay, I mean,
Yes,
that's
so if they're accurate.
That's a verification.
Large assumption.
I think that's a very good idea, thank you.
Assuming that they're accurate, the only thing he had to do was really ask the question. He didn't have to scream, but, you know.
Perhaps you've never met Commissioner White.
I've been at Mr. His tactics is very different. They didn't have to call us Philistines in the process either. Were you finished, Mr. Bucks?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any agenda items for the next board meeting?
No, ma'am.
Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second that the Gary Redevelopment Commission meeting of April 17, 2019 is adjourned. Make a roll call, please.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Joyner?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.